Hello and welcome to a profile, a deck profile, Crystron 1. I'm back, it's been a hot minute. I'm going to be spurring out some nonsense about how you should be playing Crystron or how I build it or play it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, for the main deck, we have the supplementary engine, the Speedroid Terrortop, and the Taketomborg. I will go for each one. So Terrortop's full combo. You summon it off of a free field, and it basically allows you to search the Taketomborg to make the Cherubini, and obviously Taketomborg allows you to summon if you control the wind. So a lot of people have been ogring Terrortop, so you don't have the target for Taketomborg, but it's full combo anyway, and it's free. So you can play this, you can play Horus, you can play a number of other supplementary engines like Adventure. I just find this one's the easiest and gives you a lot more versatility for hand trap room. So into the monsters for Crystrons. We have Tristaros. You only really need two, just in case you lose one and it gets banished face down. Hashtag Cashteras are good this format. So you summon it. It gives you, it's a quick effect. You can summon a Crystron from deck and then immediately synchro. So it's usually an interruption in your opponent's turn, but it can dodge imperms if you really want it to. Or it could just carry on your combo anyway if the imperm's something you don't want to be hit. So you just trigger it, summon from deck, and then just freely synchro with it. So it is pretty mega. And the last effect, the most broken effect, is it guarantees you infinity. So once it's off the field, you can banish it, summon two Crystrons, except itself obviously, and so that would tend to be the Sulfefnir and the Sulfador, which you then make into Nova, at which point you're pretty much safe to go into infinity, but it's not that early in the combo anyway, so anyone who tells you it's nib proof is lying half the time. Citree, it's a one-of. I don't like it. It's really good. So you would try and end with this on the field, and then you'd want also a loose level 5 engrave for it to work. So you would, in the main phase of your opponent's turn, which is why it's bad you can't trigger it in your turn, you would reborn a level 5, synchro summon, go into a Crystron synchro, and then it's another disruption. But you only want one of it because it isn't that great, and it needs Selp. Into the 5s, 3 Sulfefnir. Everyone tends to play 3 of this. You ditch Crystron, you summon itself, you pop a card, and if you pop itself, you tell it to Crystron from deck. It is pretty broken. But it's actually, I think it's the worst 5, because it has a cost to it pretty much. I don't like that. And then you have Sulfador, which is the on-summon. It allows you, so you can pop it, special it from hand, and then on summon ditch two Crystron cards from your deck. So you would either send a combination of the trap if you don't have it, or a card that would get the trap if you haven't got it. And either a Citree if you can reborn it from grave, which we'll get into in a bit, and or a card that will search Tristaros, so you can start your combo by going into the Synchro 7. So who doesn't like a double foolish? Then you've got the preferred normal summon, which is the Smiger. So this is the normal. You would link him off, and then search either a spell or trap. So you either grab the spell first if you haven't got the combo, or the trap if you do, and then you don't have to worry about ditching your trap to the grave and then setting yourself up for a vulnerable DD Crow. So Smiger is the best starter. Thystvern, it just searches monsters when you ditch it to the grave. Its uses are simple. It's all you use it for. You send it to the grave off either the Sulfador, and then you just search the Tristaros to start your combos. And then the Parasol, which is, it allows you to special summon it from hand. I see a lot of people cutting this card in their Crystron builds. It's a good card, because it does come up more often than not when you could benefit from special summoning a Crystron from hand. However, I do understand why people don't like the card. I think if you're playing it with a different supplementary engine than the Speedroids, then you kind of have some sort of grounds to cut this one to create some room. And all 3 of the Smiger, the Thystvern, and Parasol can pop themselves, and then e-telly the Tristaros from deck, but that does lock you into machines, and you do not get the benefit of the grave banishes because it's 1 effect per turn, so you have to be careful. You have the Inclusion, which is the Rotor. This searches a Crystron card. And then in grave, you can banish it to reborn. So what you would do is you would try and get Citree in grave, or an extender, so like a level 5 that's going to summon an infinity. You'd reborn it off Inclusion after you've used the search and popped it, and then you just win. And then Cluster's your recursion. You only want one. You don't really want to open it because you can't. You've got no way to place it in turn 1. If you did, that would be stupid. But so the idea is you would have a Crystron Synchro. If not, you could just return a Crystron card from the banish to the grave, and then you pop a card or pop 2 cards if you have the Synchro. And while it's face up, none of your Crystron cards can be banished. So for the hand traps, you have 3 Ash Blossom. It's great in the mirror. You hit Tristaros and win. Otherwise, it's just really versatile. Hits anything that adds. What deck doesn't add a card? So Ash Blossom is pretty mandatory at the minute. I will always back it up. I got double Nib. Nibiru, I just find it because a lot of decks have been getting support recently. So we've got the Mermels, which is still knocking about. You've got Ryziel, which can play into Nib sometimes. You've got Malice, which absolutely plays into Nib. Mathmech's coming back, so you know, like, I don't want to be comboed off and then, you know, lose because they made a board. So, but, you know, aside the third, I just didn't have enough room for 3. Fuwalos. You go first, it's awful. You go second, you kind of win. 3 draws. It's Max C, new Max C. So, there's nothing really more to be said about Fuwalos. It's good against any deck with an extra deck. Except this one, which they just chain it to Fuwalos and somehow go unpunished. Drolls, 3 Droll. It is a kind of search heavy format. I'm testing it out, so it's either going to be a 1 and 2 on the Fuwalos, so either side or main. But for now, I've got it as both, even though they do contradict. But Droll's pretty good. Imperms. That's another hand trap that stops the card face up on the field. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's good against a lot of cards. Very versatile. So that is the hand trap lineup. Of course, there is a lot of room for you to play hand traps in this deck. So, and then finally for the spells, we have 2 Droplet. I built the deck to go first. So you don't want too many go second tools. I just think it's a win more card that you can set going first. And then going second, you've got half a chance of drawing it anyway. But, like, it doesn't matter. Because if you're going second, it's unlikely that you're going to be doing that well. Call by, it's just a one-off that stops really good hand traps. Ash being your main problem. And then Perilia, if they drop that. You don't really care too much about Fuwalos. And then you've got Foolish Burial, which is a 1-card combo. You send Smiger or Thystvern, start your plays whichever piece you need. And it's really good Ash bait as well. So, for the extra deck, we have Hi-Speed Chanbara. Hi-Speedroid Chanbara. Synchro 5, so you would essentially use one of the 3s, and the Tristaros doesn't come up too much, but it is a free way to get half your opponent's life points done and dusted with. So, I think for now you play it, but I'm not too much of a fan. FA Dawn Dragster, you play 2. Again, I hear Kashtira are good. So if the yoink, you're only 1 out, you lose. It's a free non-once per turn spell, a trap negate. You can make 2 of these easy in a combo. So why wouldn't you play 2?
I think it's once per turn.
No, it's a soft once per turn. So that's why I said you can make 2 in a combo. God, shut up!
I stand corrected.
Thank you. Whatever this guy's called, Eleskeletus, whatever. He basically recurs any card back from your banished or grave. All of the new ones do. So Cluster can recur back from banished or grave. The Reborn, I think, can reborn from banished as well as grave. They are stupidly busted. So the way this works is you would add back the trap if you Foolish the trap off of Sulfador, and then you would pop him to then summon 2 from deck, and then he would reborn the card that you used to pop him. So Tristaros is a good card in combination with this. He's just a big Tristaros, really. And then you've got the big Chungus, Quadrant, whatever, Max thingy. He banishes 3 up to a combination of 3 on field and grave. Brilliant for ripping Fiendsmith tools out. Brilliant for clearing investment on the board out. Very good disruption. However, I never blindly make him in term. I think a lot of Crystron players kind of plan to make him in the first game, which I think is a problem, because he's a cost of one of your disruptions. So then, if you know you're against a combo heavy deck, you can swerve into him, but you need to be careful with him. Vimana. It's great what you can discover from a late night of searching cards on Master Duel, because that's the only platform I use, Konami. There's a Monster Negate. It's also a level 5 machine. And the reason that's significant is because I thought you could make double infinity, which you can't. It's a once per turn, because that's fair. So then you got the Nova, which is your main play, which you just whack infinity on top of. Not really much to say about Nova. I do sometimes side Mechaba if they force me to send Nova, but Infinity's the one you whack over it, because that's the Omni Negate. So you would make a Nova, summon an Infinity, and sometimes you have enough resources to make the mana. And then Plan B for everything that goes wrong. You have new Plan B, TY-PHON. It non-target returns something. That never comes up to be a favourable thing. And it only negates cards that are higher than 2/9. Useless. Useless. Really, it's to sit in defence and just watch. Make you feel like you had a chance of winning the game when you don't. And then for the links. Clockwork Knight. You basically link Smiger off into this. You can't link off Thystvern. For some reason, it's 1,500, which is too much for Clockwork Knight. But, Smiger, you use it to link off into Clockwork Knight, and then you can swallow Clockwork Knight up with an Infinity. Cherubini, which is your target off Speedroids. So you have your 2 Speedroids. You make Cherubini, that sends Smiger for cost. That's why the Speedroid package is full combo. And then Smiger banishes to search a spell, which then searches more cards, which then dumps more cards, and then bada bing, bada boom, you got yourself a Crystron combo. And then SP Little Knight, because for some reason Crystron's a little bit forgiving. They say for the rest of the turn. So you can make an SP early if you fancy it, or, it's good in the later game, so you make SP first, and then you're just chilling out with a nice bit of disruption. Obviously, do factor in mind this extra deck is built with the intention to go first most efficiently, and you can side tools that would help you navigate more versatile disruptions when you're front-facing a board. So, like, if you've got Raid Raptor that makes a ton of unaffected monsters, and you haven't drawn Droll, Nib, Imperm, Ash, or any of the above, then you can, maybe whack an Underworld Goddess, and again, pretend like you had a chance playing through it. But yeah, no, just pointing out there. So, that is my Crystron deck profile. I hope you liked it. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me how amazingly wrong I am about the deck, and tell me how I got everything wrong about the cards as well. I look forward to hearing your responses. Like, comment, subscribe, do the good things, and of course, goodbye!